Hello everyone, my name is Kate Marshall. The name of this channel is called Inked Paper Art, and today is day 36 of 365 days of junk journal ideas. Today we are going to make an over the page double belly band policy envelope pocket system. We're gonna have to come up with a better name for it. Leave me a suggestion for a name for this pocket idea in the comments below. And so the first thing you're going to want to do is start with a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock that is double-sided. A lightweight or a thick weight cardstock will work. And then if you have a branding strip on your cardstock like I do with this 49 in Market, go ahead and cut off that branding strip so that you don't have that to interfere with your measurements. And so this piece of cardstock was 49 in Market Serenity Brief Glimpse. I don't think it is still available. As far as I know, it is not available. And so after you do that, position your cardstock right way up, cut it at 4 inches. The first cut is at 4 inches. The second cut is also at 4 inches. 4 inches and 4 inches, keeping the direction of your paper upright. And then the third piece just set to the side. The second piece that you cut, doesn't really matter which one you do this on, but one of them, take one of your 4-inch by 12-inch pieces, and you want to cut a 4 1/4 inch piece twice. So measure it to 4 1/4, cut it, measure it to 4 1/4 and cut it. And that leaves you 2 4 1/4 and this little smaller guy here. And then now we're going to work on the other 4-inch by 12-inch piece. From here, first thing that you want to do is you want to cut off 1 1/2 inches on either side. Just choose whatever side you want to do this on. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to cut it off this side, and I'm going to cut it to 1 1/2 inches. And so I'm actually going to cut it just shy of 1 1/2. So I've moved it maybe just one little tick mark, just shy of 1 1/2. Okay. That little extra little tiny bit is important. So just shy of 1 1/2. And that leaves you a piece that's this size. And then we're done cutting. We don't need any more cutting, but we are going to do some scoring. Now, if you have this kind of cutter or any type of cutter that has a channel in it, you can just go ahead and score right there. We're going to score both ends of this piece at 1 inch. So right at 1 inch here, and then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to score right at 1 inch again, right here. And we are all done with this guy. Except, let's go ahead and cut our pockets now too. So you have these two pieces that were 4 1/4 by 4. Don't cut those. You're going to cut the smaller piece, the smaller one that measures just shy of 3 1/2 by 4. And you're just going to cut that in half. It doesn't have to be exact. You can just eyeball it. For me, it's about, let's see, 1 3/4 roughly. I'm going to space it just shy of 1 3/4, and I'm going to cut it in half. So you end up with two pieces that look like this. Okay, that's all the cutting with the cutting tool. Then from there, we're going to take the piece that we scored. We have two 1-inch score lines on this guy here, and we're going to fold those in like this. So we have the paper, if you're using one that's directional, like this one right here has some text, so this is the correct direction. I'm going to work from now on with it the correct direction, and I'm going to work with the face down, okay? Face down. So the good side, the side that you think is the prettiest, whatever, face down. From here, we're going to do a couple little chomps. We're going to take both of these 1-inch scores and we're going to put them together like this. So we folded the 1-inch scores, just line them up with your finger and take your circle punch, your whatever you're using to do little thumb hole notches. And we are just going to take the smallest little thumb hole notch out of this, just very shallow little thumb hole notch. There we go. This is very thick cardstock, and I managed to do it just with the Stampin' Up! Twice together. So there's that. Now you're going to ink this one. You don't ink on the outside here, you ink on the inside here. So go ahead and open it up and ink on the inside, just like that. You can go ahead and ink all the inside right now. That's fine. Inking, inking here, inking there, inking everywhere. Okay, so it's inked. We're good. Now the next thing is we want to thumb hole notch both of these small little pieces. So these are the ones we just cut in half. We're going to thumb hole notch those. Very small thumb hole notch again. This is not the first piece we cut. This is the piece that we had cut in half. So thumb hole notch those, and you're going to ink both of those. So I'm going to ink them together. They are exactly the same size. When you ink things stacked on top of each other like this, you get a little ink on the bottom one. It's not as much as, you know, a straight on ink, but it does give it a little tiny bit of a head start. So you're going to ink anyway. You might as well stack them and get what you get. It's kind of like free ink on the other piece. So there's those two. And I inked the wrong side. I need to be inking the back side. I need to be inking the side that matches the inside of this piece. It doesn't really matter. You could have used the other side, but I know that I want this side. So I'm going to ink around it again. I may have had just a little bit too much sugar before this video. Okay, so we've got something that looks like this. Right now we've got this little guy off to the side. This is the piece we're going to work with next. This piece, you're going to take your 1-inch circle punch. It's a 1-inch circle punch. And we're going to get 4 circles. So you need to position your paper very close to the edge every time you punch in order to get 4 out of it. And I go 1 high and 1 low and right as close as I can, because that is the only way you're going to get 4 circles out of this guy. And then for that last one, just turn it around and put it in. So there's 4 1-inch circles. You can throw that away. You can recycle it. You can do mixed media with it. So now we've got 4 1-inch circles. Okay. For these, we're going to stack them on top of each other. So pick the 2 that you like the best. And we're going to ink these. So stack the 2 that you like the best for the top layer. And then I just gently ink these together. I can slide them a little bit and get a little ink here or there. And so I like this one the best. I'm going to put it on the top and I'm going to ink around those. Pretty good. Okay. Get a little ink back there on the back one. And we're good there. Okay. Next. For these little circle deals, we're going to set them to the side. We're going to set our pockets to the side, these 2 little pockets here to the side, and we're going to work on these 2 4 1/4 by 4-inch pieces. So these 2 pieces get glued onto these flaps. If your paper is directional, like mine just has some text on it, so I'm going to keep that text upright. This one, I don't really think it has a direction. Maybe like this. We'll do it like that. Okay, so then you're going to glue. You're going to take your art glitter glue and you're going to apply your glue only on 3 sides. So only the side here, and across the bottom. Do not glue open into this middle section. Do not glue the top, just the sides. And so you're gluing with it folded up like this. And you don't have to glue a whole lot. It's just a small little shallow pocket. So there's the glue on that one. Take your piece of paper and stick it on. Tap it together so that you can tap it down to the bottom and make sure everything is all squared up, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to glue on the top one. So again, I folded my flap in and I'm gluing the sides, both sides. And on this one, it's going to be gluing across here. Okay, and then take your piece of paper, whatever side you want up, and put it on. And I'm going to flip it and tap it so that everything lines up again. Okay, it's all squared up on the sides. It's all lined up at the top. You end up with something that looks like this. Okay, that's perfect. That is exactly what we're going for. From here, you have a couple more things to do. This is a big project, but it's a worthwhile project. It's a showstopper in the end. So then you have these two flaps, these two opening flaps. Put the two flaps together. Just, hold it in your hand and put the two flaps together like this. And from here, you could decorative punch them. You could do rounding your corners is a good option. I like to do a big, sharp, angular cut. So I just start with my scissors on one side and I just do a sharp, angular cut. Then I take one of those pieces, put it on this corner, and I've got everything still lined up. I haven't moved anything. And then I take my scissors and do it again on this side. And this one is a little bit trickier because you're fighting the fold of the paper. Sometimes it's just easier to turn it around like this and do it that way. You have to do you. Find whatever works for you. It works better for me to turn it and then do it from the back side. Just the angle of the cut is a little hard. So there's, again, a million different kind of cuts you could do here. I'm just looking for an angle like that. So in the end, I now have something that has two flaps that have angular cuts, and they are the same on both sides. Okay. So that's good. We're good with all of that. Everything's good there. Now we're going to work on this side back here. We're going to glue on our pockets. Before I glue on these pockets, I do want to give everything an ink. Just ink it all the way up and down, all the sides. You are going to see every bit of this piece of ephemera. There's no piece that is going to be glued down where you're not going to see it. So at this point, go ahead and ink the whole thing all the way around. We've already inked the inside, so we just need to ink these flaps. And right here. And right here. So now everything is inked. Ooh, I love that little bit of grungy I just got there. That was lovely. That was a happy little accident. Okay. So everything's inked. We're good. We're going to flip it to the back. We're going to glue on our pockets back here. From here, you're going to take these two skinny little pockets and you are going to glue around three sides. So you're going to glue the two short sides and across the bottom of your pocket. So just like this across the bottom and the two short sides. There we go. And this one goes all the way at the bottom. Put your first pocket all the way at the bottom. And again, pick it up, slide that pocket down, and then push it with the sides so that you're getting a nice good seal there. Okay, that's the first one. Then we're going to do the same thing for the second. Glue the two short sides. So this is creating a whole lot of extra space. It doesn't add too much bulk in a journal. Lots of tucks and places to hide things, some journaling spots. This one goes about halfway. You just visually, cut your piece of paper in half, put it on there. So I've got one at the very bottom and one about halfway. We're done with that side. We're going to work on this side again. Now we're going to need both of our sets of circles and we're going to need our crocodile. So the crocodile, I'm going to punch the large hole directly in the center of both sets. The easiest way I found to get the center is to just visually find the center before you try putting it in your crocodile. Just find the center. You can see, visually is good enough. Find the center. I haven't glued anything together. I'm just going to go ahead and punch these now. So I've stacked them together. I haven't glued them. I'm going to use the large hole. I'm going to center my little mark in the hole. And I punched. And I'm going to do the same thing on this set. And I punched. And then I'm going to put eyelets in. For me, I'm going to use these oversized brass eyelets. They are a little bit harder to work with, but most of you guys will probably have standard size eyelets. So these guys, you just got to kind of force through the hole in the paper. There we go. And then because I'm using the large one, I've got the large nib and the silver little bottom nib. And so that's the eyelet I put in there. And then this guy goes in. So you're not gluing your circles together prior to this step. You're just holding your circles together with an eyelet. And that's really important that you use the eyelet to hold these two circles together. And then from there, we're done with our crocodile. You want to take these and you're going to glue the back side of them really nicely, generously amount of glue there. Make sure that your glue covers the entire surface of this little guy. Okay, on the back side. Put him in the center of your little flap and press him for just a second. He's got an eyelet in him, so just press him for just a second. Again, art glitter is your friend for this kind of a project. Cover the next one on the back side with glue. I'm not adding so much glue that it's going to seep out and make a mess, but I did cover pretty much the whole back side. Then, with your flaps closed together, find the center where they line up, and then glue that one on that side. So we added the glue to the back side of the sets of circles. We're good there. We don't have anything else to glue, but now we need to cut some either like some crinkled seam binding, some string. I have baker's twine. That's what I'm going to use for my closure. And so this is a policy envelope closure. And for policy envelope closures, you want to go 2 times the height of your policy envelope. That's just a general rule. It depends on where you put your little things, but for me, 2 times is good. So I've got a piece of baker's twine, and then I'm going to take it and put it not underneath the back one, but in between the 2 little circles. So I'm going to leave myself a little bit of a, an end here. And just the first time you need to open it with your fingernail. After you open it the first time, it will always open on its own very nicely. So there's that. And then you're going to wrap it one time all the way around this one. Okay. And then you go back down here, and just the first time, again, help it through there. And then you can wrap it back and forth from there. And so that's your policy closure, right? Now this whole piece is designed to slide over a journal page. This is a journal page here. That's actually kind of a short one. Let me go ahead and make a new journal page. My copy dyed paper is different sizes, and I know that paper is about 8 inches instead of 8.5. So this one is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that I'm going to use for a journal page. This piece slides on a journal page just like it's going to. I gotta open it up. It slides onto a journal page, and the reason why I designed it this way is so that it can be removable. So it goes on a journal page like this, and it closes like this, and then you close the string closure. So right here, when you've got it all closed up, I'm just going to close it gently for this second. Right here, when you got it all closed up, you have options. So because this is a belly band on this side, I'm trying to find a journal card or something to use to show you. A journal card will slide in, extra papers will slide in. You have this whole space back here as a belly band. Then when your person who owns this journal, if that's you or if it's somebody else, opens up your little policy part right here, you've got, it's on your page here, you've got a little pocket for ephemera right here. So this will tuck in there. And you've got a little pocket for ephemera right here. It's just a nice little hidden spot to keep like a journal card or a tag. And when this is on the page and closed up, you actually have pockets back here that also create another belly band. It's a big see-through, pass-through belly band. And you've got 2 pockets here. So this is a fabulous idea for adding some storage space. You could make writing space on the inside of these flaps if you didn't want the pocket, or you could have the pocket and some writing space. You could punch this like with a decorative punch. I keep clipping my page because you have to make sure that your page is all the way at the bottom before you close it over. So it does fit when you measure this part, just a little hair over 8.5 inches. And so then you've got the belly band here. So this is a double belly band, one here, one on the back side. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. a whole lot of journaling space, a whole lot of different things you can do with it. I keep bending my page. Don't bend your page. Fold yours nicely. Okay. Have a good day, guys. I will have another video for you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye.